Have you ever thought of what to use in your English class? Do you think it is effective enough to be used? To know that, let's dive right in. Hello, fellow linguists. I am Eljohan from Lang, your companion for English language. In today's vlog, we will be talking about materials development in language teaching. We will be interviewing a language teacher regarding her experiences and perspectives on materials development. But before that, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated for our upcoming videos.
Hello, fellow linguists. This is Marianne from Lang, your companion for English language. Did you know that materials development is both a field of study and a practical undertaking? As a field, it studies the principles and procedures of the design, implementation, and evaluation of the language teaching materials. As an undertaking, it involves the production, evaluation, and adaptation of the language teaching materials.
Hello, fellow linguists. I am Julissa Jusser, your companion in English language. Today, I am here with Miss Maria Novelin Taboy, a junior high school language teacher at Catalogan National Comprehensive High School. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon to Julissa.
For our first question, what is an instructional material for you?
For me, instructional materials are materials used in teaching to be effective and efficient.
For our next question, ma'am, how do you select your instructional material in language teaching?
In language teaching, you should be selective when it comes to in selecting instructional materials because it should cater the needs of the students in learning the language. We all know that in learning the language, it is really difficult if we don't use instructional materials. Aside from using visual instructional materials, we should also use audio-visual so that the students will not only see or view your materials but also listen because when it comes to teaching the language, you should teach them accurately and precisely.
Okay, so ma'am, let's now proceed to our third question. How do you develop your instructional material in language teaching?
In developing, for myself, when I develop instructional materials, of course, I study first my lesson. What instructional material would be helpful in teaching this lesson? And is this instructional materials will be helpful to my students? So in developing, you should answer the question, for whom, by whom, and how are you going to develop this instructional materials? Your instructional materials should be interactive. As a facilitator of learning, your instructional materials should be helpful to your students, and also your students will have interaction with your instructional materials.
Hello, fellow linguists. I am Melanie from Lang, your companion for English language. Did you know that materials evaluation is a procedure that involves measuring the value of a set of learning materials? It involves making judgment about the effects of the materials on the people using them. In other words, materials evaluation means a principled process of providing useful information about the target materials in order to select or develop them in a reliable or valid approach.
So we are back for our interview. Our next question, ma'am. How do you evaluate your instructional material for language teaching?
Okay. So, in language teaching, as for me, as a language teacher, I evaluate the purpose of my instructional materials. Is it useful in teaching speaking, in teaching grammar, in teaching literature? Is it useful? Does it provide effective engagement of the learners to my lesson in language? And also, I evaluate the reliability of the instructional materials. Is it reliable to, is it helpful, or is it, does it serve its purpose as instructional materials itself? So that's
So
it.
you have mentioned earlier, ma'am, that instructional material should serve its purpose in teaching.
Yes.
So, how important it is for you in teaching the language?
We all know that instructional materials are just supplementary materials in the teaching and learning process. But without instructional materials, our teaching will not be that effective because they provide efficient learning or effective learning or teaching to our learners.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your learnings with us.
Hi, fellow linguists! That's all for this vlog. Hope you have learned something. Please make sure to
Subscribe
Click the like button.
and hit the notification bell to be always notified.
This is Lang once again, your,
Your companions in English language.
Bye!